And for me, it was probably back in 2017 or 2018 and really new to sales, was just trying to find a way to differentiate myself. I feel like a lot of ways people are doing now are still kind of what was being used for a long time, and they still work to an extent, but and that being cold emails, cold calls, things of that nature. But for me, it was how do I go a step further and have the ability to differentiate myself. And so I started doing research on different sales techniques, and came across videos and started utilizing those in different ways. And especially when the pandemic hit was another great way that was already natural for me, thankfully, to continue engagement in kind of that virtual environment. A lot of different ways that I found to use video. I think when I first started doing it, it was kind of in a prospecting realm of, hey, introducing myself, and having a meeting, things like that. It's transitioned into not only from maybe more personalized videos to even mass videos to personalized videos on LinkedIn, being able to have a way to directly connect with somebody and introduce yourself that way. And then one thing I'm starting to do more recently too is take, and I actually did this earlier this week, actually yesterday, was take a demonstration recording. And then on OneMob, I have the ability to kind of create a microsite. And so I can put different pieces of content underneath the demonstration. So product sheets, product booklets. I made like an executive summary for the company so they can kind of see a breakdown of everything, because you never know who the demonstration is going to get forwarded to. So they might be missing out on pieces of content that were in other emails in different pieces. So it allows me to kind of have a centralized place. So I've been using it for that, uploading the demonstration recording, building out kind of a company specific, again, microsite, we'll call it, and then having specific pieces there. Again, I think this goes back to some Gartner research. Buyer teams are like now 10 to 12 people. So you never know who's all viewing that, especially depending on your space. You might have IT getting involved, finance getting involved, procurement getting involved. So if your demonstration is being viewed by multiple people, giving them more information is always valuable. But even back to the basics, like I mentioned, still working in the personalized video, still working in even more larger email campaigns, working successfully there. I mean, I've definitely seen a large uptick in my responses. Now, that doesn't always mean it's going to be a yes, but I think just having that personalized kind of differentiation aspect to it, putting a face to the email, you're going to get a larger uptick in responses. I mean, I've once cold called a guy and he, was about to kind of tell me to pound sand, and he recognized my voice from the video and was like, hey, wait, were you the guy that sent me the video? And I was like, yes. And so we immediately had this connection. And while he wasn't still in the market at that exact time, it turned kind of that cold call into almost a warm introduction, and his tone immediately changed. So it gives you a lot different, I think, place to sell from with the video. And it kind of gives you a way to be more present in your sales cycles. Again, obviously face-to-face is great, but anytime that you can have that connection and build rapport with video, I think is a huge advantage to sales professionals. So I've actually been doing this week and last week a little bit, and playing around with it. Was we have like a Microsoft bookings link, similar like a Calendly or something like that. And as I send my videos or email campaigns, OneMob lets me insert my calendar underneath my video. So again, anytime that I can take from a prospect to make getting time with me easier, even if it's, hey, they don't have to respond with me to a time, they can go click it. Whatever I can do to take away a step or make it that much easier for us to get together, I'm a big fan of. So again, OneMob has that where I can put my calendar underneath, and kind of lets them, hey, if there's something in the video that they want to talk about, lets them schedule time with me directly. So again, I'm in kind of the beta stage testing of that, so no real results of report yet, but excited to see how that does. I just say the biggest thing I think when I talk about videos with either colleagues or just my friends is it's kind of the barrier to entry. Being on video, sending videos, it is nerve-wracking. I hate how I sound on video.
We all do.
My biggest learning curve was learning almost not to watch back the videos. I'd have bullet points that I want. You can write yourself a script. To me, the easiest way is write 3 or 4 bullet points you want to get through in a video. Have a normal conversation. I know that in sales, we're always worried about or repetitive words. It's going to happen in your first few videos. Don't go in and try to make it like you're completely reading something. If you have a couple it's okay. Record the video, keep it to 60 seconds, hit your 3 bullet points. And as long as you know you hit your 3 bullet points, don't worry about watching it back. I guarantee you'll find something that you want to redo. And that's okay. The more human you sound,
yes,
that's fine.
Yes.
So that to me is the biggest barrier to entry is hit your 3 bullet points, keep it to 60 seconds. Don't worry about watching it. You sound human. You made your points. Send it. Comes back to kind of the first reason that I mentioned for doing sales. How can you differentiate yourself really in any way possible? Prospects and companies and clients and executives, they're being hounded through every sort of communication there is. So how can you rise above the noise? Videos is one of them. Having a presence on LinkedIn, through your emails. I mean, really, so many different ones. You can play around with email subject lines, see what's getting more responses. You might have, I mean, I've sent email campaigns titled Purple Monkey, and you get responses because no one is expecting that as a subject line. And, you know, hopefully it kind of creates some laughs there. The other thing too is, who's your buyer? How can you differentiate yourself? If they're on a mobile phone, how do you optimize that email so that if they just glance at that preview, that they're getting at least a snippet of that information? Does that mean, when you're typing an email, you go hi name, and then instead of putting the rest of that under it, you go right after that with some attention grabbing information? Again, really any small ways that you can do to differentiate yourself. And really, again, you kind of just said, what's some advice somebody trying to improve sales? Differentiation one, I think. The other one too, and something that, especially as we go into 2023, is, I mean, sales highs and lows. So if you can find a way to stay grounded when you have those wins, or even if you have those lows, you'll be fine. And that's always going to come with the territory. I think one of my managers told me that at one of my first ever jobs was celebrate the wins. Don't get too, down if you miss out on a deal. Learn from it, and move on from there.